Hello, fictional. Welcome to the Fiction Series X. Today we are gonna see, what if Issei fell in love with Koneko? If you end up liking this video, please consider subscribe, so without further ado, let's get into the video. Issei was not your typical high school student. He had dreams that most young men his age would find absurd, and those dreams centered around the idea of having a harem filled with beautiful devil girls. In a world of supernatural beings, where devils and angels walked among humans, Issei's fantasies didn't seem entirely out of place. Little did he know that his life was about to take an unexpected turn, and that his heart would lead him down a path he had never imagined. Guo Academy was no ordinary school, for it housed its fair share of devils and angels in disguise. Among these extraordinary beings was a girl named Koneko Toujou, an Ekamata half-human, half-cat devil. She was known for her quiet and reserved demeanor, often keeping to herself. Her icy blue eyes, framed by a curtain of raven black hair, held an air of mystery that intrigued those who crossed her path. Issei had heard about Koneko through his friends in the Occult Research Club, a group of devils tasked with investigating supernatural phenomena and protecting the human world from otherworldly threats. He knew she was a member of the club, but he had never actually met her. One sunny afternoon, as Issei strolled through the school courtyard, he happened to spot a familiar face sitting alone on a bench. It was Koneko, engrossed in a book, her petite figure barely noticeable amidst a bustling crowd of students. Issei's curiosity got the better of him. He approached her, his heart pounding in his chest, and cleared his throat. Hey there. You're Koneko, right? He asked, trying to sound casual. Koneko looked up from her book, her cat-like eyes narrowing slightly as she regarded Issei. She nodded, her voice barely above a whisper. Yes, I am. What do you want? Issei stumbled over his words, struggling to maintain his composure. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Issei Haidu. I've heard about you from the Occult Research Club, and I thought it would be nice to get to know you. Koneko's expression remained stoic, and she returned to her book, seemingly disinterested. Okay, she replied, leaving Issei feeling slightly dejected. Determined not to give up, Issei decided to offer a peace offering. He went to the nearby vending machine and purchased 2 drinks, returning to Koneko and offering one to her. I accidentally spilled some of my drink on you, he said sheepishly. I'm really sorry about that, so I got you a replacement. Koneko blinked in surprise, her eyes narrowing further, this time with a hint of curiosity. She accepted the drink and took a sip. After a moment, she sighed softly and glanced at Issei. You're not like most people I've met. You're clumsy and kind of weird, but you seem genuine, she admitted. Issei chuckled nervously, relieved that Koneko had at least acknowledged his effort. Yeah, I'm definitely not the smoothest guy around, but I believe in being honest and true to myself. Koneko couldn't help but chuckle at Issei's words. It was the first time she had seen a boy so genuinely flustered, and it was oddly endearing. You're different from the others, she said, a small smile tugging at her lips. Issei's heart leaped with hope. He had made a connection with Koneko, no matter how small it might be. Well, I'm glad you think so, he replied with a smile. If you ever want to talk or hang out, just let me know. I'd love to get to know you better. As the days turned into weeks, Issei and Koneko found themselves spending more and more time together. They often sat side by side in the library, studying and discussing their coursework. Issei was amazed by Koneko's intelligence and dedication, and he couldn't help but admire her quiet strength. The two of them began to eat lunch together, sharing stories and jokes. Issei found himself opening up to Koneko in ways he had never done with anyone before. Her presence brought a sense of calm and comfort to his life, and he cherished every moment they spent together. Koneko, in turn, was slowly letting her guard down around Issei. She appreciated his honesty and kindness, something she had rarely encountered in her life as a devil. Issei's boisterous personality was a stark contrast to her own reserved nature, and yet she found herself drawn to him. She had never met someone who made her laugh so freely, and she couldn't deny the warmth she felt in his presence. The Occult Research Club's missions often required the members to face supernatural threats and otherworldly beings. As Issei and Koneko battled these dangers together, their bond deepened. Issei was constantly impressed by Koneko's combat skills and her unwavering determination to protect the human world. Koneko, in turn, saw Issei's growth as a devil and admired his commitment to becoming stronger. She recognized his flaws and quirks, but she also saw the goodness in his heart. The more time they spent together, the clearer it became that their connection was something special. One evening, as Issei and Koneko sat on a rooftop, gazing at the stars, Issei turned to her, his heart pounding in his chest. Koneko, there's something I've been wanting to tell you for a while now, he stammered, his voice tinged with nervousness. Koneko turned to him, her cat-like eyes meeting Issei's with a gentle intensity. What is it, Issei? She asked, her voice soft. Issei took a deep breath and looked deep into Koneko's eyes. I love you, Koneko. I love everything about you, your strength, your determination, your kindness. You mean the world to me." Koneko's cheeks turned slightly pink and she smiled, a warmth spreading through her chest. It was a feeling she had never experienced before. "Issei, I love you too," she confessed, her heart pounding in her chest. "I just didn't know how to say it." Issei felt a rush of relief and joy as he took Koneko's hand in his. "Koneko, I promise to always protect you and cherish you. Our love is something special and I'll do everything in my power to make you happy." Koneko squeezed Issei's hand and they sat together, enjoying the quiet moments under the starlit sky, knowing that their unexpected feelings had brought them to a new chapter in their lives, filled with hope and love. As Issei and Koneko's confession of love hung in the air, their relationship began to evolve in unexpected ways. While Issei had initially hoped for a harem of beautiful devil girls, his heart now belonged to Koneko, and he was more than content with that arrangement. Koneko, on the other hand, had never allowed herself to be vulnerable to anyone, but Issei's sincerity had started to break down the walls she had built around herself. With each passing day, Issei and Koneko spent more time together. Their connection grew, and they found themselves drawn to one another in ways that transcended mere friendship. Issei admired Koneko's strength and determination, and he marveled at how she could be so tough and yet so gentle at the same time. Koneko, in turn, appreciated Issei's unwavering kindness, which was a rare trait among the devils she had known. Their studies, missions with the occult research club, and quiet moments shared in the garden under the cherry blossoms cemented their bond. They laughed, they fought side by side, and they found solace in each other's company. What had started as an accidental encounter had blossomed into something profound, something that neither of them had ever experienced before. As they grew closer, the members of the occult research club began to notice the change in Issei and Koneko's relationship. Asia Argento, the club's sweet and gentle healer, was the first to pick up on the subtle shifts. She approached Issei one day, her azure eyes filled with curiosity and concern. "Issei, I've noticed that you and Koneko have become really close lately," she said, her voice soft and caring. "Is there something going on between you two?" Issei, who had been caught off guard by the sudden question, hesitated for a moment. He had always been open about his dreams of a harem, and he wasn't sure how his friends would react to the fact that he was now in a committed relationship with Koneko. However, he decided to be honest. "Yeah, Asia, there is something going on," Issei admitted, a warm smile gracing his lips. "Koneko and I have realized that we're in love with each other." Asia's eyes widened in surprise, and then she smiled. "Oh, Issei, that's wonderful. I'm so happy for you too. Koneko is a great girl." Issei's relief was palpable. He had feared that his friends might be upset or disappointed, but Asia's warm reaction put his mind at ease. She offered her support and blessings to their newfound relationship, and Issei couldn't have asked for a better friend. Despite the growing affection between Issei and Koneko, they had their own insecurities to contend with. Issei often wondered if he was truly worthy of someone as strong and remarkable as Koneko. He knew that he wasn't the most powerful devil, and he worried that he might not be able to protect her from the dangers of their supernatural world. On the other hand, Koneko battled her own insecurities as a half-devil, half-cat Nekomata. She had always felt like an outcast, and she had trouble believing that someone as genuine and caring as Issei could truly love her. She had spent most of her life keeping her emotions and vulnerabilities hidden, and it was challenging to let someone in. One evening, as Issei and Koneko sat in their secret spot on the school rooftop, gazing at the starlit sky, their insecurities came to the surface. Issei had been unusually quiet, lost in thought, and Koneko could sense that something was bothering him. "Issei, what's on your mind?" she asked, her cat-like eyes filled with concern. Issei sighed and looked into Koneko's eyes. "I love you, Koneko, and I want to be the best partner I can be for you. But sometimes, I can't help but feel like I'm not strong enough. There are so many powerful devils and supernatural threats out there, and I worry that I won't be able to protect you." Koneko reached out and gently placed her hand on Issei's cheek, her touch tender and reassuring. "Issei, you don't need to be the strongest devil to make me happy. What matters is that you're honest, kind, and genuine. You've shown me a love I never thought I'd experience, and that means more to me than any amount of power." Issei's heart swelled with gratitude, and he reached for Koneko's hand, squeezing it gently. "Thank you, Koneko. I needed to hear that. I promise I'll do my best to become stronger for you, but I'll never lose sight of the person I am, the person you fell in love with." Koneko smiled, her worries dissipating, and leaned in to kiss Issei gently on the lips. "That's all I want, Issei. Just be yourself, and that will always be enough for me." Their insecurities and fears were not magically erased, but Issei and Koneko had learned to lean on each other for support. They offered each other the strength and reassurance they needed to face the challenges of their supernatural world. Their love continued to deepen, and the more they learned about each other, the more they realized that they were meant to be together. Issei's dreams of a harem had faded into the background as he understood that his heart belonged to Koneko alone. They were building a love that was strong and enduring, and nothing could stand in their way. As they faced supernatural threats together and navigated the complexities of their world, Issei and Koneko knew that they were on a path that was uniquely their own, and they were determined to follow it, hand in hand, wherever it may lead. Issei and Koneko's relationship had grown stronger with each passing day. They faced supernatural threats together, their love deepening as they protected the human world from devils, angels, and otherworldly dangers. It was a love built on trust, understanding, and the genuine connection they shared. However, their world was far from static and new challenges lay on the horizon. It all began on a seemingly ordinary day when a new transfer student arrived at Kuo Academy. Vali Lucifer, a devil of extraordinary power and charisma, immediately captured the attention of the entire school, especially the female population. Vali was confident, charming, and incredibly handsome, making him irresistible to many. As he joined the occult research club, he brought an air of mystery and danger with him. His presence was like a ripple in the calm pond of their lives, and it wasn't long before he took a particular interest in Koneko Toujou. One sunny afternoon, as the members of the occult research club gathered in the clubroom, Vali sauntered in with a mischievous grin. His silver hair and striking red eyes gave him an otherworldly allure, and the girls couldn't help but swoon in his presence. Issei, Koneko, it's a pleasure to meet you both, Vali greeted them, his voice dripping with charisma. He extended his hand to Issei, who shook it hesitantly, feeling a strange mix of admiration and unease. Vali then turned his attention to Koneko, who was sitting quietly in the corner of the room, her eyes locked on her book. And who might this lovely lady be? Vali inquired, his eyes fixated on Koneko. He leaned in closer, a sly smile playing on his lips. Koneko met Vali's gaze with an unimpressed expression. I'm Koneko Toujou, a member of the occult research club, she replied curtly, not one to be swayed by charm alone. Vali chuckled, seemingly unfazed by Koneko's indifference. Koneko, you have such an alluring aura about you. I have a feeling that we're going to get along quite well. Issei, who had been observing the interaction with growing unease, clenched his fists. Vali's words and the way he focused on Koneko made his jealousy spike. He couldn't deny the uncomfortable feeling that Vali was a rival for Koneko's affections. As the days passed, Issei's unease continued to fester. Vali's constant presence in the occult research club only intensified the tension. Vali was undeniably powerful, and his charming personality made him a natural magnet for attention. Koneko, while seemingly uninterested, was not immune to his charisma. Issei couldn't shake the feeling that Vali was trying to win Koneko over. One evening, as Issei and Koneko found a quiet moment together in their secret garden, Issei decided to voice his concerns. He couldn't bear to keep his jealousy bottled up any longer. Koneko, I've noticed that Vali has been paying a lot of attention to you, Issei began, his voice tinged with frustration and insecurity. It's making me uncomfortable. I can't help but feel like he's trying to steal you away from me. Koneko sighed, her cat-like eyes searching Issei's face. Issei, you have nothing to worry about, she said calmly. I chose to be with you because I love you, not because of anyone else. Vali may be charming, but it's you who has won my heart. Issei felt a rush of relief, but his insecurities still lingered. I just don't want to lose you, Koneko. You mean everything to me, and I don't want to let anyone else come between us. Koneko reached out and took Issei's hand, her touch warm and reassuring. Issei, you don't have to worry about that. I chose you because you're genuine, kind, and honest. Those qualities are what make you stand out from the others. No one can replace what we have. Issei smiled, grateful for Koneko's understanding and reassurance. Thank you, Koneko. I love you, and I'm willing to fight for our love. Koneko leaned in and kissed Issei gently on the lips. And I love you too, Issei. We'll face any challenge that comes our way, together. But their hearts reconnected and their insecurities momentarily quelled. Issei and Koneko knew that their love was stronger than any potential rival. Vali's presence might be a challenge, but they were determined to prove the depth of their connection and the strength of their love. As the days turned into weeks, Vali continued to make his presence known in the occult research club. Issei and Koneko's relationship was put to the test as they found themselves working alongside Vali on various missions and facing supernatural threats together. The tension between the three of them was palpable, but Issei was determined to show that his love for Koneko was unwavering. One day, the occult research club faced a particularly powerful enemy, a rogue devil with the intent to cause chaos in the human world. Vali, Issei, and Koneko joined forces to confront the threat. The battle was fierce, and the enemy's strength was unlike anything they had encountered before. As the battle raged on, Issei felt a surge of determination. He couldn't let this threat harm Koneko or anyone else. With newfound resolve, he tapped into his hidden powers and unleashed a fierce attack, managing to defeat the enemy. Koneko watched in awe as Issei's power blazed before her. She had never seen him so focused and determined, and it filled her heart with pride and love. Vali, too, was impressed by Issei's strength and determination. He had witnessed Issei's unwavering commitment to protecting those he cared about. While Vali's intentions had been unclear at the beginning, he now understood the depth of Issei and Koneko's love. After the battle, Vali approached Issei, a hint of respect in his eyes. "Issei, you have proven yourself to be a formidable opponent and a worthy protector," he acknowledged. "I won't stand in the way of your love for Koneko. She's a lucky girl." Issei nodded, grateful for Vali's acknowledgement and the understanding that had developed between them. "Thank you, Vali. We'll do whatever it takes to protect the ones we love." But the threat eliminated and their newfound respect for each other, Issei, Koneko, and Vali returned to the occult research club. The tension that had once surrounded them had dissipated, and they were determined to move forward as comrades rather than rivals. Issei and Koneko's love had been tested and had come out stronger. They had faced a new challenge, but their love had proven to be resilient and unwavering. They knew that their journey was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever the supernatural world had in store for them, hand in hand. With the rivalry between Issei and Vali now a thing of the past, the occult research club had settled into a newfound harmony. The days seemed brighter, filled with laughter, shared missions, and quiet moments of affection between Issei and Koneko. Their love had been tested and strengthened, but there was one important step left for them to take. One evening, Issei found himself in the clubroom with Koneko, as they often did after school. The atmosphere was relaxed, and the soft hum of conversation among their friends provided a comforting backdrop. Issei, however, couldn't shake the thought that it was finally time to take the next step in their relationship. Koneko, engrossed in a book, sat across from Issei. He observed her quietly, admiring the way her raven black hair framed her face, her cat-like eyes focused on the pages before her. Issei had always been a straightforward and passionate person, and he felt that it was time to express his love in a more profound way. Taking a deep breath to steady his nerves, Issei leaned forward, causing Koneko to glance up from her book, her expression curious. He reached into his pocket and withdrew a small velvet box. Issei couldn't help but feel a mixture of excitement and anxiety as he opened the box to reveal a delicate silver ring, adorned with a modest diamond. "Koneko," Issei began, his voice tinged with sincerity, "there's something I want to ask you." Koneko's eyes widened as she saw the ring, her heart beginning to race with anticipation. She placed her book on the table and watched Issei with a mixture of surprise and affection. "Issei, what's this?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. Issei's gaze met Koneko's, and he smiled softly. "Koneko, I love you more than anything in this world. You mean everything to me, and I can't imagine my life without you by my side. I want to spend the rest of my life with you." Koneko's breath caught in her throat, her heart pounding with emotion. She had never expected this moment to come so soon, but it filled her with a sense of overwhelming joy. Tears welled up in her cat-like eyes, and she whispered, "Issei, I love you too, more than I can put into words." Issei picked up a ring from the box and gently took Koneko's hand, sliding the ring onto her finger. It fit perfectly, as though it had been waiting for this moment. "Koneko, will you marry me?" Issei asked, his eyes filled with love and vulnerability. Koneko's tears spilled over as she nodded, unable to hold back her emotions. "Yes, Issei, I will. I want to spend the rest of my life with you." Issei's heart soared with happiness as he kissed Koneko tenderly. The clubroom seemed to fade away, leaving only the two of them and the promise of a future filled with love and happiness. The news of Issei and Koneko's engagement spread quickly throughout the occult research club. Their friends congratulated them with genuine excitement and support. Asia, Riaz, and the others were overjoyed for the couple, and they couldn't wait to be part of the upcoming wedding. As the days turned into weeks, Issei and Koneko began planning their future together. They talked about their dreams and aspirations, the kind of life they wanted to build, and the love that would guide them through all of life's challenges. The engagement also served as a reminder of the extraordinary world they lived in, where devils, angels, and supernatural beings coexisted with humans. As they faced supernatural threats and supernatural conflicts, Issei and Koneko remained a steadfast team, drawing strength from their love for one another. Issei's dream of a harem had long been replaced by the reality of his deep and abiding love for Koneko. He realized that true love was about finding the one person who completed you, who made you a better version of yourself. And in Koneko, he had found that person. Their love story was far from over, and they knew that they would face many challenges in the future. But with their love as their anchor and their commitment as their guide, Issei and Koneko were ready to embrace whatever came their way. As they walked hand in hand toward their future, they were filled with hope, determination, and a promise of a lifetime of happiness together. Issei and Koneko's engagement was met with excitement and support from their friends in the occult research club. The news of their impending wedding brought a sense of joy and unity to the club members, who had grown to appreciate the genuine love and connection between Issei and Koneko. But their engagement, the couple had entered a new chapter in their relationship, filled with anticipation and preparation for their future together. But the supernatural world in which they lived had a way of testing their love and commitment. It wasn't long before a new challenge emerged, one that would test the strength of their bond. A powerful and enigmatic adversary had appeared on the supernatural scene, casting a shadow over the peaceful life Issei and Koneko were striving to build. His name was Kalem, an ancient devil with a reputation for ruthlessness and ambition. He had heard of the engagement between Issei and Koneko, and it piqued his interest. Kalem believed that Koneko's power and potential were wasted on a mere pawn like Issei. He saw her as a valuable asset that could aid his own ascent to power. Kalem's presence in the supernatural world was ominous, and his influence grew steadily. He began to exert pressure on the occult research club, making it clear that he had intentions for Koneko. Issei, Koneko, and their friends couldn't ignore the threat that Kalem posed, and they knew they had to confront it head-on. One evening, as the members of the occult research club gathered in their clubroom, Kalem made his move. He entered the room with a sense of entitlement, his piercing gaze fixed on Koneko. His aura exuded power and dominance, and it sent a shiver down the spines of those present. "Koneko, my dear, it's time for you to leave this pitiful existence behind and join me," Kalem declared, his voice dripping with arrogance. "You deserve better than to be tied to this insignificant devil." Koneko's eyes narrowed with determination, and she stepped forward, her voice firm. "I have made my choice, Kalem. I love Issei, and I will stand by him." Issei stood by Koneko's side, a protective fire burning in his eyes. "Koneko is not a possession, Kalem. She's her own person, and her heart belongs to me." Kalem's expression darkened, and his patience wore thin. "Very well, if you choose to resist, you will face the consequences. I will not allow this engagement to stand in my way." With that, Kalem unleashed his power, and the room trembled with the force of his energy. A battle ensued, and the occult research club fought valiantly to protect Koneko and their way of life. Issei, in particular, was driven by an unwavering determination to protect the love he had found in Koneko. Despite Kalem's formidable abilities, the occult research club managed to push him back, their combined strength proving to be a formidable force. The battle raged on, and Kalem's frustration grew as he failed to achieve his goal. As the final confrontation neared, Issei and Koneko found themselves fighting side by side, their love serving as a source of strength. Issei was determined to prove that his love for Koneko was unbreakable, and Koneko was equally determined to stand by his side. In a moment of sheer determination, Issei unleashed his hidden powers, channeling his love for Koneko into an overwhelming surge of energy. With an explosive burst, he managed to defeat Kalem, who was left stunned and defeated. Koneko rushed to Issei's side, relief and gratitude filling her heart. Issei's display of power had been a testament to the strength of their love. As they stood together, Kalem retreated, defeated but not vanquished. The battle had been won, but the threat of Kalem still loomed over their lives. Issei and Koneko, however, had faced the challenge as a united front and emerged stronger than ever. Their love had proven to be an unbreakable force, and they were ready to confront whatever challenges the supernatural world had in store for them. With Kalem's threat neutralized, the occult research club resumed its peaceful existence. The engagement between Issei and Koneko remained intact, and their love for each other had deepened further. They knew that their journey was far from over, but they faced the future with a sense of unity and determination. As they walked hand in hand into the unknown, Issei and Koneko were filled with the conviction that their love was a force to be reckoned with. Their love story had been tested and proven resilient, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, side by side. Issei and Koneko had faced numerous challenges in their relationship, including rivals and powerful adversaries. Their love had been put to the test, and each trial had only served to strengthen their bond. However, as they approached their wedding day, they realized that there were still insecurities and uncertainties they needed to confront. One evening, Issei and Koneko were enjoying a quiet moment in their garden, the soft glow of lanterns illuminating their surroundings. The moonlight cast a gentle radiance upon their faces, and they shared a comfortable silence. Issei was the first to break it, his voice tinged with vulnerability. "Koneko, there's something I've been meaning to talk to you about," he began, his fingers tracing patterns on the back of her hand. Koneko turned to him, her cat-like eyes filled with curiosity and concern. "Issei, you can tell me anything. What's on your mind?" Issei hesitated for a moment, gathering his thoughts. "Well, you know that I've always been upfront about my feelings for you. But lately, I've been struggling with some insecurities." Koneko's expression softened as she listened attentively. "Insecurities about what, Issei?" Issei took a deep breath. "I worry that I might not be enough for you. You're such an incredible person, Koneko, and I can't help but feel that I'm not on the same level as you. You're strong, intelligent, and beautiful, and I sometimes wonder if I measure up." Koneko's heart ached as she saw the vulnerability in Issei's eyes. She reached out and gently cupped his cheek, her touch tender and reassuring. Issei, I chose you because you're genuine, kind, and loving. You may have your flaws, but you also have a heart full of goodness. You're more than enough for me, and I love you for who you are. Issei smiled, his insecurities momentarily eased by Koneko's words. Thank you, Koneko. It means the world to me to hear you say that. Koneko leaned in and kissed Issei gently, a silent affirmation of her love. And, Issei, I have my own insecurities too, she admitted. Issei's eyebrows furrowed in concern. What insecurities do you have, Koneko? You're amazing in every way. Koneko sighed softly, her cat-like eyes revealing a mix of emotions. I've spent most of my life trying to be strong and self-sufficient, to hide my vulnerabilities. It's been hard for me to open up to someone, to let them see the real me. I sometimes worry that I'm not showing you enough of my true self. Issei gently wiped away a tear that had escaped Koneko's eye. Koneko, I want you to know that I love every part of you, including your vulnerabilities. I want you to be comfortable with me, to trust that you can be yourself without fear of judgment. Your strength is inspiring, but your ability to let your guard down and be vulnerable is a sign of trust and love. Koneko nodded, her heart swelling with affection for Issei. Thank you, Issei. Your understanding means everything to me. Their conversation had opened a new level of communication and trust in their relationship. Issei and Koneko were able to confront their insecurities and offer each other the reassurance and love they needed. In the weeks leading up to their wedding, Issei and Koneko decided to share their insecurities with their closest friends in the occult research club. Asia, Riaz, and the others listened with empathy and offered their support, understanding that love was a journey that involved facing one's vulnerabilities and insecurities. As the wedding day approached, Issei and Koneko were filled with a sense of unity and confidence. Their love had weathered various challenges, and their willingness to be vulnerable with each other had only deepened their connection. The day of their wedding arrived, and the occult research club had transformed their clubroom into a beautiful and intimate setting. Issei and Koneko stood before their friends and made their vows, promising to love each other through all of life's trials and triumphs. It was a ceremony filled with love, trust, and the knowledge that their insecurities were no match for the strength of their love. After the wedding, as Issei and Koneko shared their first dance as a married couple, they held each other close, their hearts filled with love and gratitude. They knew that their love story was far from over, but they also knew that they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, hand in hand. As they swayed to the music, their friends watched with smiles on their faces, knowing that Issei and Koneko had overcome their insecurities and emerged stronger and more in love than ever. It was a testament to the power of love, trust, and the willingness to be vulnerable with the person you cherished most in the world. Issei and Koneko's love story continued, a journey of growth, trust, and the understanding that love was not without its insecurities, but it was the bond they shared that allowed them to overcome those insecurities and emerge as a couple committed to a lifetime of love and happiness. Issei and Koneko had overcome their insecurities and emerged from their wedding ceremony with a newfound sense of unity and confidence. Their love story had been marked by challenges and personal growth, and now, as a devoted couple, they were ready to face whatever the future held for them. The early days of their marriage were filled with joy and bliss. They reveled in the simple pleasures of life, taking long walks in the park, cooking meals together, and sharing quiet moments of tenderness. Issei was devoted to making Koneko feel cherished every day, and she, in turn, reciprocated his love with unwavering affection. The occult research club remained a close-knit group of friends who continued to support and celebrate Issei and Koneko's love. Asia, Riaz, and the others had seen the couple's journey of growth and transformation, and they were overjoyed to witness the deep love and devotion that Issei and Koneko shared. As the months passed, Issei and Koneko faced new challenges in their supernatural world. They continued to confront powerful adversaries and supernatural threats, and their unwavering teamwork and love served as their greatest strength. One evening, as they returned from a mission, Issei and Koneko found themselves sitting on their porch, gazing up at the starry sky. The night was calm and filled with the sweet scent of cherry blossoms, a reminder of the beauty of the human world. Koneko rested her head on Issei's shoulder, a contented smile on her face. Issei, we've come so far, haven't we? Issei wrapped his arm around her, his voice filled with affection. We have, Koneko. Our love has grown stronger with each challenge we've faced. I can't imagine my life without you. Koneko tilted her head to look at him, her cat-like eyes shining with love. Issei, I feel the same way. I'm so grateful to have you in my life. Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of a visitor, a powerful devil named Lysander. Lysander had a reputation for seeking knowledge in ancient artifacts, and he had heard about the unique power that resided within Koneko. He believed that harnessing her abilities would lead him to untold power and knowledge. Lysander's arrival was met with tension, as he made it clear that he had no intention of leaving without Koneko. Issei's protective instincts flared, and he stood in front of Koneko, his determination unwavering. I won't let you take Koneko, Issei declared, his voice firm and resolute. Koneko, too, was prepared to stand her ground. She had grown stronger and more confident in herself and her abilities. "I won't go with you, Lysander. My place is with Issei." Lysander's eyes gleamed with ambition, and he unleashed his powers, creating a formidable barrier that surrounded Issei and Koneko. The battle that followed was intense, but Issei and Koneko fought with a newfound sense of unity and determination. As they faced Lysander together, their love served as a wellspring of strength. Issei, fueled by his love for Koneko, tapped into his hidden powers once again, unleashing a devastating attack that ultimately defeated Lysander. But the threat neutralized, Issei and Koneko stood together, their hearts filled with love and pride. Their love had once again proven to be an unbreakable force, and they were ready to face whatever challenges the supernatural world had in store for them. With Lysander defeated and their home returned to a state of peace, Issei and Koneko resumed their quiet evening on the porch, the starry sky overhead. The cherry blossoms swayed in the breeze, and they held each other close, knowing that their love was stronger than ever. As they leaned in to share a tender kiss, Issei and Koneko's devotion to each other was a testament to the power of love. Their journey had been filled with challenges, growth, and the understanding that love required trust, communication, and unwavering devotion to the person who held your heart. The Occult Research Club continued to be a close-knit group of friends who celebrated and supported Issei and Koneko's love. Their devotion to each other was a reminder that love was not without its challenges, but it was the bond they shared that allowed them to overcome any obstacle that came their way. As they held each other beneath the starry sky, Issei and Koneko were filled with a deep sense of contentment and a promise of a lifetime of devotion to each other. Their love story was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever challenges and joys lay ahead, hand in hand. Issei and Koneko had faced numerous trials and challenges, from rivals to powerful adversaries. They had grown as individuals and as a couple, their love standing as a beacon of strength throughout their journey. Now, as their love story unfolded, they found themselves at a pivotal moment, ready to make a promise that would last a lifetime. One evening, Issei and Koneko were taking a leisurely stroll in the park near their home. The gentle breeze rustled the leaves, and the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the surroundings. Issei's heart was filled with a sense of purpose, and he couldn't wait any longer to express the depth of his commitment to Koneko. They found a quiet spot beneath a blossoming cherry tree, its delicate petals falling like confetti around them. Issei turned to Koneko, his eyes filled with love and determination. He took her hand and dropped to one knee, his heart pounding with anticipation. "Koneko, from the moment I met you, my life has been brighter, more meaningful, and full of love," Issei began, his voice unwavering. "You're not just my partner, you're my best friend, my confidant, and my one true love. I want to make a promise to you, one that will last forever." Koneko's heart raced as she watched Issei, a mixture of surprise and joy in her eyes. Her emotions were overwhelming, and she nodded, her voice choked with emotion. "Issei, I love you more than anything in this world. I want to make that promise with you." Issei reached into his pocket and withdrew a small, beautifully crafted wooden box. He opened it to reveal two matching rings, adorned with intricate designs that symbolized their love. Issei took one of the rings and gently slid it onto Koneko's finger, while she did the same for him. "Koneko, will you promise to be by my side for the rest of our lives, to share every joy and face every challenge together?" Issei asked, his eyes locked on Koneko's. Koneko's tears glistened in the fading sunlight as she nodded, her heart brimming with love. "Yes, Issei, I promise. I want to be with you forever." With the rings exchanged and their promise sealed, Issei stood and pulled Koneko into his arms, kissing her tenderly beneath the blossoming cherry tree. The world seemed to fade away, leaving only the two of them and the promise of a lifetime of love and happiness. In the weeks that followed, Issei and Koneko's commitment to each other deepened. They shared their promise with their friends in the Occult Research Club, who were overjoyed and eager to support the couple as they embarked on this new chapter of their love story. As the days turned into months, the couple continued to face supernatural threats and challenges in their world. However, their love remained steadfast, serving as an unbreakable bond that saw them through every trial. Issei and Koneko's devotion to each other and the promise they had made only strengthened their resolve. Their wedding day arrived, a beautiful ceremony attended by their friends and loved ones. Issei and Koneko exchanged their vows once more, reaffirming their commitment to each other in front of those who had witnessed their journey. The reception was a joyous celebration, filled with laughter, music, and heartfelt toasts. Issei and Koneko danced as a married couple, their love and happiness radiating for all to see. As they held each other close, Issei and Koneko knew that their love story was far from over. They had faced challenges, grown as individuals, and made a promise to be together forever. Their journey was a testament to the power of love and the strength of their commitment. The Occult Research Club continued to be a close-knit group of friends who celebrated and supported Issei and Koneko's love. Their promise of forever was a reminder that love was not without its challenges, but it was the bond they shared that allowed them to overcome any obstacle that came their way. As they looked into each other's eyes on the dance floor, Issei and Koneko were filled with a deep sense of contentment and a promise of a lifetime of love and happiness. Their love story was a testament to the power of love, commitment, and the enduring promise of forever. Issei and Koneko's love story had been a journey filled with growth, challenges, and unwavering commitment. Their promise of forever had solidified their bond, and now they were embarking on a new chapter in their lives, one filled with hope and the promise of a bright future. As a married couple, Issei and Koneko decided to move into a new home that they could call their own. They found a cozy two-story house nestled in a quiet neighborhood, surrounded by lush greenery. The house had a small garden in the backyard, and they envisioned spending many happy moments there. Their friends from the Occult Research Club had helped them with the move, turning it into a day of laughter, camaraderie, and shared memories. Riaz, Asia, Akeno, and the others had come together to celebrate this new beginning for the couple. As they unpacked their belongings and settled into their new home, Issei and Koneko felt a sense of excitement and anticipation. The house was filled with their love, their hopes, and their dreams for the future. It was a fresh start, and they were ready to embrace it wholeheartedly. One sunny afternoon, Issei and Koneko sat on their porch, sipping tea and gazing out at their garden. The cherry blossoms were in full bloom, a symbol of new beginnings and the cycle of life. Issei turned to Koneko, his eyes filled with warmth. "Koneko, this is our new beginning," Issei said, his voice filled with emotion. "A fresh start, a home we can call our own, and a lifetime of love ahead of us." Koneko smiled, her cat-like eyes reflecting the same sentiment. "Issei, I couldn't be happier. This is where we'll build our life together, where we'll make new memories and face whatever challenges come our way." Their conversation was interrupted by a knock on the door. Issei opened it to find a young woman standing there, her eyes filled with curiosity and determination. She introduced herself as Yumi, a high school student who had recently moved into the neighborhood. Yumi explained that she had heard about the couple moving in and was eager to welcome them to the neighborhood. Issei and Koneko invited her inside, and they soon found themselves in a friendly conversation, sharing stories and getting to know each other. Over time, Yumi became a close friend to Issei and Koneko. She joined them for dinners, gardening sessions, and celebrations. Her presence brought a sense of community and a feeling of being part of something bigger, a sentiment that Issei and Koneko cherished. As the days turned into weeks, Issei and Koneko found themselves growing together as a couple. They faced new challenges, both in their personal lives and in their roles as protectors of the human world. But their love remained a constant source of strength and inspiration. Their devotion to each other deepened, and their commitment to facing whatever life threw at them together was unwavering. They shared their dreams, their goals, and their hopes for the future, knowing that as long as they had each other, they could overcome anything. One evening, as they stood in their garden, bathed in the soft glow of lanterns, Issei turned to Koneko. He took her hand and dropped to one knee, a familiar gesture that held a new promise. "Koneko, this is where our love story continues," Issei began, his voice filled with love and devotion. "I want to make a promise to you, one that we'll carry with us through every chapter of our lives." Koneko's heart swelled with emotion as she watched Issei. Her love for him was as strong as ever, and she nodded, her voice choked with tears. "Issei, I'm ready for this new beginning. I want to make that promise with you." Issei reached into his pocket and withdrew two small, matching keys. He handed one to Koneko and kept the other for himself. "Koneko, these keys represent our home, our love, and our future together," Issei said. "With these keys, we promise to always keep our hearts open, our love strong, and our home a place of warmth and happiness." Koneko accepted the key, and they locked them together, sealing their promise with a kiss beneath the blossoming cherry tree. The world seemed to fade away, leaving only the two of them and the promise of a lifetime of love and happiness. As they moved forward into their new beginning, Issei and Koneko were filled with a sense of hope and anticipation. Their love story was far from over, and they knew that every day would be a chance to grow, love, and make new memories together. The Occult Research Club continued to be a close-knit group of friends who celebrated and supported Issei and Koneko's love. Their new beginning was a reminder that love was a journey that never truly ended, and it was the bond they shared that allowed them to face each new chapter with strength and devotion. As they stood together in their garden, Issei and Koneko were filled with a deep sense of contentment and a promise of a lifetime of love and happiness. Their love story was an ongoing adventure, one filled with hope, dreams, and the enduring promise of forever. Issei and Koneko's love story had seen them through countless challenges, from rivals to powerful adversaries. With each trial they faced, their love had grown stronger, their bond more unbreakable. As their journey unfolded, they came to realize that happily ever after was not the end of their story, but a continuation of their love and growth together. In the years that followed, their home became a sanctuary filled with love and shared dreams. Issei's career as a devil and Koneko's commitment to protecting the human world remained important aspects of their lives. However, they always made time for each other, cherishing the moments they spent together in their garden, cooking delicious meals, or simply cuddling on the couch. Their friends from the Occult Research Club had also found their own paths, but their bonds remained unbreakable. The group continued to gather, celebrating anniversaries, birthdays, and other special occasions, reaffirming the deep connections they shared. As time went on, Yumi, their friendly neighbor, had also become a cherished member of their group. She had found her own love story in the neighborhood, and together, they created a supportive community that further enriched Issei and Koneko's life. The years brought new challenges and adventures. Issei and Koneko continued to face supernatural threats and confront powerful adversaries. They did so with the same unwavering determination and love, their unity and commitment standing as a testament to the power of love in the face of adversity. Issei and Koneko also decided to start a family. The prospect of being parents filled them with joy and excitement, and they welcomed their first child into the world with love and gratitude. Their growing family brought new meaning to their lives, and they cherished each moment as they watched their child grow. One sunny afternoon, Issei and Koneko sat on their porch, the cherry blossoms gently swaying in the breeze. They watched their child play in the garden, their hearts brimming with love and contentment. "Issei, we've come a long way, haven't we?" Koneko said, her cat-like eyes filled with affection. Issei smiled, his arm wrapped around Koneko's shoulders. "We have, Koneko. Our love has seen us through so much, and I wouldn't have it any other way." Koneko nodded, her voice filled with warmth. "Our journey may have had its challenges, but it's also been filled with love, growth, and a promise of forever." Their conversation was interrupted by the sound of their child's laughter, a joyful reminder of the life they had built together. Issei and Koneko knew that their love story was an ongoing adventure, one that would continue to be filled with hope, dreams, and the enduring promise of a happily ever after. As the years passed, the Occult Research Club continued to be a close-knit group of friends who celebrated and supported Issei and Koneko's love. Their happily ever after was a reminder that love was not without its challenges, but it was the bond they shared that allowed them to face each new chapter with strength and devotion. Issei and Koneko's love story was a testament to the power of love, the enduring promise of forever, and the belief that happily ever after was not the end, but a lifelong commitment to growing, loving, and creating a life filled with joy and contentment. As they sat together on their porch, their child's laughter filling the air, Issei and Koneko were filled with a deep sense of happiness and a promise of a lifetime of love and growth. Their love story continued, a journey of hope, dreams, and the enduring happily ever after they had created together. And so how was this story? I hope you like it. And if you like it, share this story with your friends and like the video too. And don't forget to subscribe our channel for daily awesome fanfiction. Okay, it's time for me to go. Bye bye.